Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Mike, and I'm a huge Disney dad. I love Lorcana with my kids. I love Disney in general and the joy it's brought me and my family. I've come to this later in life, but currently very much engrossed in learning to play, enjoying collecting Lorcana in general, and I just want to go over. It's a bit of a light news weeks as we approach the end of the month here. We're roughly 9 days away from the World's tournament coming up, so that will be exciting. I imagine that will yield a lot more news to talk about. But right now, it's if you go back in my channel here, I try and release a video roughly once a week, talk about where we're at in the collection, things I've been thinking. But there's not a lot to talk about outside of the plays that I liked, that I recommended last week, and I built on a couple of them, picked up a few different cards. A collector friend of mine was looking to move on from some of his Lorcana, had passed him by. And so I went and did some pickups. So I'm going to show some of those off here, as well as discuss a little deck profile for my favorite color set at the end of the video. So first things first, can't leave an LGS without some packs. So I got 2 packs of Azurite Sea, 2 of Reign of Jafar, and we'll bring those home for the kiddies. Hope to hit an Enchanted or some playable ones on that. We opened maybe a dozen or so packs in and around and after Father's Day. Father's Day was pretty crazy. It's been a busy couple weeks here in our family, but yeah. So we opened some packs recently. We ended up getting a Calhoun out of it. We got I think a legendary Jasmine, mostly Azurite Sea hits. I think we got another Genie, which purple Genie, which is nice. We only had 2 of those, but I'm looking to build a purple steel deck for my son to see if I can get him a shot at a Rated Jafar prize card in set 8. We're thinking about our set championships coming up, and yeah, I got a few other collectibles as well. So my friend, like I said, was downsizing his collection. Worked out well for me. Gave me a great deal on a lot of different cards there, but also some Disney pins as well. So we've got the Sisu pin and the Bolt pin. My kids love these pins. I think they're really cool. We frequent the Disney parks. We've got another trip confirmed actually for September, a Walt Disney cruise and a park trip to celebrate our 10th anniversary. We're bringing the kids along. Gonna dump them in the kids club for sure. Get some alone time with the wife there, but yeah, we're excited about that. So pins and parks go together, and got a few of those before. So we'll add those to my daughter's purse. She'll be able to wear those around the park and feel special about herself. Some other cards that we picked up off of my buddy there. So these are some going out of the meta, but I finally got my play set of A Whole New World. The price is right now, folks. And from a collectability perspective, I don't know if it's necessarily the best time to pick these up. It might be after they're properly rotated out, but if something tells me that set 1 cards will always find their way back in via I don't know if it'll be a reprint of the first chapter. I think that would be a bad move at this point, but reprints of these first chapter cards in subsequent sets of Lorcana, I think is almost guaranteed. I think they created some iconic cards, including A Whole New World, which is very much a staple draw engine of Steel, and I expect that to continue in the future. It might take a year off, it might take 2 years off, but come set 21 or whatever it is, when they start to do another rotation, all of a sudden A Whole New World's back. Having a full play set of the super rare from set 1 will probably serve me well. Also grabbed an Along Came Zeus. We got a few of these, but again, trying to build a purple steel deck for my son. Very much needed. I put my money where my mouth is, and picked up 2 more Daisy Donald's Dates. I think those are going to be highly playable for the next year or so. I love my Mickey promo cards. Shout out to Mike from Cardboard Kingdom. Got 2 more of these guys there from set 1, as well as this one I didn't have, Scrooge McDuck. And that's actually, 15 to 20 US dollar collectible promo there. So that's a really fun one. And then some just odds and ends legendaries that I thought were either building on some plays of mine or just ones I want to have in the collection as one-of. If I could see this Arthur being a one-of playable at some point, it's super cheap. It's a cool legendary. It's got an Enchanted associated with it. Why not? I spoke to Merlin, his potential to find his way in at some point if Amethyst keeps him in the ship package post-rotation. So cheap one there. Piglet from my childhood favorite Winnie the Pooh. Didn't have this legendary yet. Grab one of these guys. Carefree Surfer Stitch. We do have the Enchanted that I picked up in a trade at locals, but we didn't have the Legendary, and that might find her way in my daughter's binder. I think she'd appreciate that. And then my boy Mufasa, who always finds his way. I just I can't turn down a Mufasa, and they're cheap and they're cool, and I love them. So I think that makes it 7 or 8 now in the collection of Mufasa. We'll keep stacking those. So yeah, it's just not a lot to talk about outside of that. There's not a lot of news that I think I'm not the newsworthy source, anyways. But I will share with you before I get out of here today my my deck that I've started to build here in anticipation of set 8. Luckily, I know none of our locals come. Actually, you know what? I take it back. Let's get quickly into Discord here. I've used Discord a lot recently to be a place where I can learn more about the game and interact with people in like sort of an ongoing, thread of chats and collectors. And I found a couple of really good Discord servers that I think deserve a shout out, just because I think they're great people that run really good content. And I highly recommend you jump into this if you're sort of like me, trying to learn from people that are either really smart when it comes to building decks, really knowledgeable when it comes to TCG collecting, and just some good resources to have a couple good chats here, and just great communities that I think deserve a little bit of props here. So, first one is the Ink Table. You can find the Ink Table podcast on YouTube. It's probably Spotify. I find them on Apple Podcast. I tend to listen to them while I drive. But Dylan and Preston, along with John, who produces it for them, this is just a great little group. I think this has about 22 members right now, and I can't tell you how much I think of these guys, of this community that they've built. And I'm really happy to be able to jump in here, yak with them a little bit about collecting, deck ideas, you name it, they got it. So it's a really fun place. The Ink Table podcast, I absolutely suggest you check it out. I have said this before, and I will say it again on my Instagram, but the Rules of Villainy podcast is also one highly relatable gentleman that do a great job of maybe more talking about the meta, talking about deeper gameplay strategies and things like that, going over what's hot and what's not on the playable side. They don't tend to focus too much on collecting, although different members of the podcast enjoy collecting. They don't really focus on it there, but I think this is a great place if you're looking for a community of 100 and some odd and growing. Rules of Villainy for sure, 100%. I absolutely recommend them at any time. Cardboard Kingdom is my favorite collecting channel on YouTube. Them, along with Lorcana Goons, I think are great follows on YouTube. Cardboard Kingdom specifically has a great, show off your cardboard here, talk about. It goes over booster box EV daily and how different cards are affecting the overall value of sealed boxes. So if that's your thing, I think that's great. Lorcana with the family. It's just a great. I feel like everybody in here is 40-year old like me with a couple kids. So, but they all come from a collecting background and hope to maintain and preserve their collection for value long term. So, big fan of Cardboard Kingdom. And again, Lorcana Goons, every Friday they do their market update. Smart guys out of the California area. Just good back and forth banter. And I like what they're doing there too. So, you can look for Cardboard Kingdom or Lorcana Goons on YouTube. And finally, my Canadian brothers from the West, they're Overexerted at Disney Lorcana Discord. Not to be confused with Overexerted, a Disney Lorcana podcast. They do a great job. They sort of they blur the lines between a lot of things. They crack packs. They talk about sealed strategy. They talk about where the game's going and where it's coming. I think they're just really big fans as well. But they have some TCG knowledge and certainly some good back and forth banter. They brought on a fella from the Citizens or Lorcana podcast recently. After that one took a hiatus. So again, Ink Table, Rules of Villainy, Cardboard Kingdom, Lorcana Goons, Overexerted. Look these guys up on YouTube, on Instagram, on podcast platforms. I think you'll like what you hear, and I think you'll stick around. So, and then all of that will lead you to their different Discord servers. You can always message me on Instagram at Disney.Canada, or here on YouTube, you can drop a comment if you're looking for one specifically. I'd be happy to post a link to whatever Discord server you desire. Last but not least, I'm a green-blue apologist. I have been since the beginning, and I think I've hit on something here with my green-blue deck that I'm looking forward to trying out at Set Champs. So we'll see how this plays over the short term. I tried it out on Ink Table last night. I like the way it played. So we're starting off with 29 characters, 4 of Tipo. He allows you to ramp and get rid of an ink. uninkable card there, because when you play this character, you can put a card from your hand face down and exert it, so you don't have to show your opponent. Belle here is a new addition to this deck. She can be played when you banish the Popsicle, which is something I've never done before. I've never played any items in this deck. I looked at Jeweled Collar and I just couldn't get. I'm not sure if I can get people to challenge enough or not. I faded that one for now. That might be an addition in the future, but the Muses is very much the staple of this deck. It's 4 copies of that paired along with 13 songs. You can try and bounce aggro decks and keep them into submission, bounce them back into their hand, and allow me to hopefully get out in front. Donald Duck is an interesting one here. So when you play this character, you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down and exert. It's sort of a late ramp to help with some of these other plays, including I love the Baymax shift. I had to get it in here somehow. I just think it's a huge advantage to be able to use this on top of Tipo, or I suppose Belle. But depending on how you want to do that, we can get to a situation where maybe we get lucky and sing Under the Sea. This may require 2 copies if I find that one is not enough. But sort of like if I can't get the Muses going and I see it's really aggro and the Muses hasn't come out, maybe I get lucky with Under the Sea. But I like Donald there. Tamato is a cool addition that I always envied those who were playing Blue Steel in the pre-Hiram Band days. I have 1 copy of Tamato that I traded for recently, so I'll just have to pick up another one. So it's 35 American, roughly 50 Canadian, so I'll have to invest in that, but I think that's a future-proof card, so I'll be looking to grab that. Basil's really interested. Whenever this character quest shows an opponent discards a card at random, so that can maybe I think late game that might help. Clarabelle is my draw engine, and that coupled with Fred, 1 copy of Fred. If I happen to come across Fred and I play and I'm able to quest with him, it will search the deck for a Floodborn character card, and the only Floodborn character card I have is Clarabelle. So it will cycle through everything until I get Clarabelle. I can play her the next time and then fill up my hand again. So interesting strategy. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but there seems to be enough draw outside of that in this deck that I feel pretty good about it. I can also get a few cards back in my hand with Mufasa if I ever get him out. He should be he should be a win more card. If he's out, I should be winning no problem. But I like to have 1 Mufasa in my deck. It works well with what I enjoy about Disney, which is my favorite character, Mufasa. Other ways that I can get to the cards I need or develop your brain and visions the future. Sail the Azurite Sea for ramp. You came back to help me ready a character that I think needs to be protected, whether it be Mufasa for 8 lore and the game over, or you came back on Clarabelle to ready her to keep her in place. And if I don't want to lose her, bend my will to clear their hand. Sort of my only, I don't want to call it board wipe, but the only hand wipe I have. Accessibly in these two colors. Mother knows best to bounce it back into their hand. If I want to draw Clarabelle, I get more cards. This to sync things I don't know how to deal with into their deck. It gives them more cards, yes, but Clarabelle can help with that. How far I'll go, a little bit more ramping, and then Popsicle for a draw. So I'm actually pretty excited. I tried this deck a little bit. I don't know if it's perfect. We got time. We got a month, probably until Sets Champs kicks off. I know they announced those dates recently, but mid-July to mid-August is when I expect all that to take place. So we're trying to ramp up for that. We're trying to win ourselves a Jafar card, trying to top 8, and trying to help my son do it as well this time. So lots to look forward to. I think this is a quick video. Who knows? I'm not even sure anymore. What do we got? 13 minutes. Perfect. So we're going to cut it short now. Thanks so much for joining us again. If there's anything you want to talk about, if there's any cards you think that you'd recommend for this deck here, if there's anything else you're collecting and building on future past episodes, feel free to drop a comment. Otherwise, reach out to me on Instagram, Disney Dad Canada. Until next time, guys, have a great time. All the best.